This show is a lot of a little.
Gracias por ver la esquina de Jody. Thank you for watching Jody's Corner.
YouTube was good. It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. This is going to be a spoiler. It's going to be like a spoiler review for Jupiter's Legacy. So yeah, I finished this thing. All 8 episodes of this bad boy. It's on Netflix. It's trending #1 right now. Jupiter's Legacy. This is a tale about superheroes. Real life superheroes living on Earth in present day who are called the Union. I forgot what they're called. The Union? 6 heroes, who have tremendous powers. This character that you see here is the Superman of the group. He has a wife who is very much the Wonder Woman and a best friend who turned outlaw, who is Batman. And he has a Lex Luthor type of brother. And there's a Flash type of cripple. So basically, this jumps you right into it. Characters have powers. They're protectors of Earth. They want to do the right thing. It's the same superhero trope. It's the Justice League, basically. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what it is. And then it's a show about them. This man has children, and it just goes to show you their lives, about why they believe in a code, why they do what they do. There's villains in this world. They fight some villains. It's the typical cliche type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But none of that is the interesting part. That's what's crazy about the show. None of the capes and the costumes and all that are interesting, because I'm going to give it 100% a buck. The production value of this show is lacking, bruh. It is lacking. I mean, there was a first open fight with a character that is clearly Darkseid. That is like they blended Doomsday and Darkseid and put them together. It's literally a Darkseid character that they fight. I mean, that guy. They literally are fighting Darkseid. And the quality of this is just, it's bad. It's not good. The wire work of how they fly, you could tell they're on wires. The scale of it is terrible. They're not zooming and flying. They don't use a lot of CGI in these fights, but they need to use some more CGI in the movements of these fights, because you could tell they're just on a soundstage running around. It just doesn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to see superheroes fighting Darkseid like that. It's cool, but it's just, you could tell that the production budget was lacking for this show. This show needed a lot more money than what they made it with. And this was just all cheese to me. I mean, even though there was some cool moments, this was just all cheese. How was, I'm like, what is this? This is terribly executed. But I understood it, because it's like, okay, it's a new show and they're just really just trying to make a point here. So this motherfucker gets wrecked, gets his face knocked off by Superman's son. And they're mad at him for it. You're never supposed to take a life. You're never supposed to kill. Never go against the code. And what's the code? There's a lot of questions that this show brings up, because the way that they try to tell this story is so, it's like a web. They go to the past. They go to the further past. Present. Close present, distant present. Go to this character, go to that character. It's a lot of bouncing around in this. There's no linear story here. It's not a linear story. It jumps left, right, up, down, present, future. We go back to the 1920s with the stock market crash and all that, back to when it was just him and his brother and his father running a steel company in the 1920s, before the crash of the stock market. And then you see the as we know, the stock market crashes in 1929, and it says people for a spiral to the point where his dad jumps off a freaking building. His dad jumps off a building, kills himself, and it was been a struggle ever since. Excuse me. So, I don't care about this stuff. Like, this here is nice to see and all, but this doesn't mean jack to me. The important part for me is everything that took place in the past, because in the past is where they're trying to give you some answers. It's showing you them as regular humans, and then you're like, wow, all right, so we're gonna be able to see how they became superheroes. I'm like, okay, let's watch. Then 2 episodes go by, and you're still figuring out why they're trying to be superheroes, and they're still in the past. Then 3 episodes, then 4 episodes, then 5 episodes, then 6 episodes. This show turned into something that it didn't have to. This show suffers from trying to do too much, but not doing enough. It's wild to me. They try to do too much by being different. Oh, well, let's not tell a classic superhero story of, oh, let's go flashback to how I got the powers. Now let's go to the present, and now you got it. Let's try to organically, just slowly build up how important it is to these people of why they become heroic, so then when they become heroic, we'll like them. Big mistake, because you spent the whole season trying to show them how they got powers, and it was trash, man. I mean, I gotta be honest, guys, watch episode 1, 2, 7, and 8 and be done with the show. You do not need to watch this whole entire show. You really don't. Watch episode 1, 2, then skip to 7 and 8 and be done with this, because this shit wasted a whole lot of time, bro. I've watched episodes where I'm like, this is so slow. This doesn't make sense. I mean, characters, you're bouncing to all these characters, but you're not giving them anything to the narrative of what the story. You got this dark side narrative. He knocked bruh face off, by the way. You got this dark side character, and then you have a narrative of, oh, that was actually a clone because he didn't really break out. So even though he broke out of the prison, the real one is still secure. So what are you telling me? A freaking prison door is keeping this dude secure? He was beating the crap out of Superman and Wonder Woman and all them. But a prison is what keeps him locked down? It just doesn't. There's a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense here. And I don't even care to try to make sense of it because it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not worth trying to make sense of this show. That's why. Watch episode 1, 2, 7, and 8 and be done with it. Because as cool as they look, they needed to do some workouts for these suits. But as cool as they look, these suits are dope. All of this is just a facade. This is just to suck you in to get you to watch the show. Ooh, superheroes, let's watch. And you don't really get superheroes like that. You get just a little bit. And then you get, you know what you get? You get a dumb narrative about a doomsday after his face got knocked off. Let's go into his brain, what's left of his brain. No, boost me up. Give me energy so I could go into his brain that's no longer there. And then I'm going to get you trapped in there. And then I'm going to reveal the plot and the plan. And watch episode 1 and 2, 7 and 8. Because all of this is just fluff. They filled this show with so much fluff and narrative that don't go nowhere and story that don't go nowhere and by the end of this, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't tie anywhere. And you know what else they'll waste your time with? Yeah. They waste your time with a stupid character like because they waste your time with a stupid character like his daughter, a drugged out, junkie, pilled out, freaking slut whore who doesn't want to be a hero, who doesn't even want to be a good citizen, who doesn't even want to be alive. And they don't even show you why they're like that, bro. Why is the son twisted? Why is the daughter all the way effed up? Is he that bad of a father? Well, show me. They ain't gonna show you shit. Just take for the fact that, oh, she's messed up because daddy is a superhero and couldn't be there all the time. What the freak is this shit? The daughter, Chloe, is a trash character and they're shoving her down my throat. I freaking hate that character. I hate that character in this show. And freak her boyfriend too with the wand. Freak the Weeknd, who she's having sex with, who could wand anywhere he wants to. Bro, miss me with that whole shit, bro. The best part of this show was when it was in the 1920s and it was just him, his brother, and his daddy. And the finale. I mean, this show is just, it screws it up for itself. Like, it's in its own way. Like, this show could have been so much better. This is a show that is like, guys, You have the formula for everything here. How did you fumble this? How did you mess this up? That's how I feel. Like, what's going on? Y'all could have done so much better. And then they give you all of these characters that really don't mean anything because it's not going to really go anywhere. And they'll make sure that you know about this daughter's pain. That you make sure that you know about her pain and weakness with this father that's continuously trying to get to this dumb beach. I freaking hate that character, man. But why are you forcing her down my throat every single episode? It goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth in time and present. And it doesn't really have a payoff. There's a payoff in the end of showing you how they get their powers. Yeah, you know, they go to that island. They get that's the best part. The past. They get the crew, the people in the vision. They go to the island and they figure out, you know, we got to work together, put their hands on the thing, and they get their powers. Tight. But before that, the whole part of I'm going to Kansas. I'm going to get knocked out. I'm going to go to Eric Foreman's dad's house so he can blow his brains out. So there'll be people downstairs looking at what the heck? What is all that for? In its own way, Frank Quitely he wrote Superman, which is, you know, I like Frank Quitely when he wrote his run of Superman. But he wrote this. He's an executive producer of this. Is this his product? This is, bro, it's so crazy to know that you have such a good core. The core of this show is excellent with its heroes and the powers. And this whole entire, you know, let's save our company, you know, the brother dynamic and the father jumping off the building and trying to figure out what's going on next. That dynamic is great. But the execution and the fluff and the layers added to this show completely brought it down. Just like completely brought this thing down for me. And it's a show that is, I can understand how this show for me, people will love it or they'll hate it. That's why I feel like I can see a lot of people being like, man, that shit weak. It's boring. It's boring and slow. Yup. It's boring and slow. That's what this show is. Boring and slow. And I can see some people saying, oh, this show is fire. Superheroes, they fought. Because of that cape and cowl, the powers. And a couple little instances in here that get you. But bro, this is a show that is a missed opportunity. It's there's things in here that I like, but there's too much in here that I don't. That's what it is. It's like I really like this character. I like the Justice League family. You know, I like seeing some of the powers, but the CG's trash. The production value is bad. The acting at times is okay. The score, there is no score. I mean, the freaking writing is bad. Story's bad. I like some. I dislike a lot. At the end of the day, bro, this is a mediocre freaking show. Give this shit a C. Mediocre. What a shame. What a shame. What a shame. Subscribe to the channel for more of that real content. Continue discussion down below. Am I tripping? Y'all love this? How many of y'all love this show? Because there's just so much combobulation in here and so much traffic in this show that is not needed. How did you manage to enjoy this thing? I mean, from a story standpoint, I get the costume and the powers, but my God, guys, Netflix, do better, man. Y'all got in your own way. You got in your own way on this, man. For season 2, clean this shit up. It's too messy. This was messy. Fix it, because you have something great here. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'm Jody Joe, and I'm out this thing. Deuces.